From the KOIN 6 newsroom, this is breaking news.
Breaking news right now, a grass fire has part of SR 14 shut down right now in the Columbia River Gorge. The area impacted is from near Bingen, Washington to the turnoff towards Glensdale, right there on Highway 97.
Troopers tell us the smoke is so bad it's causing zero visibility in that area. No word when the road will be back open. We're working to learn more, and we'll bring you updates throughout this newscast as they come into the newsroom.
And another brush fire tonight as well, this one in Forest Grove. Crews tell us they got it out before those flames made it to a big wheat field. This was an old burn pile that sparked up again. Fire crews say if you burn this season, you need to wet down your old piles because fires can burn underground in roots, they say, for weeks or even months before they pop up again. And this is the perfect weather for those to pop up.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. Things are heating up around here. Kristen joins us right now. How hot's it going to get? What's the fire danger like?
The fire danger is definitely going to be going up, and not just for the typical places either. As we continue with this dry stretch going into the middle part of next week, when we get into the hottest temperatures here in the metro area, you can bet that we're going to start to see that fire danger creeping up even west of the Cascades and into the Willamette Valley. High fire danger tonight down across southern Oregon and down in the southwestern part of the state, where we have red flag warnings in effect until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Take a look at how hot it got in Medford, 102. And then the other trouble is we've had these thunderstorms that have popped up. They're producing the lightning, and so those lightning strikes can also lead to those fires developing that can spread really quickly, and in these conditions can just get out of control very, very quickly. We're going to see highs a lot hotter than this as we head into the weekend and into the start of next week. A major heat wave moving in. I'm going to let you know how hot it gets here in the metro area and talk about that potential for thunderstorms here too coming up.
Kristen, thank you. And people are already at the store trying to get fans to stay cool. In fact, we checked at Pearl Hardware and they tell us they are low on supplies right now, but they are getting a new stock in tomorrow.
Using a fan with an AC unit is really good too, to kind of get the air circulating in the space. And then minimizing your TV, computer, cooking on the stove.
Another important reminder with the rising temperatures is not to leave your pets in the car, of course. Bonnie L. Hayes Animal Shelter tells us that they've been getting calls to help animals in hot cars every day recently. And remember, if you do that, you could face a charge of criminal neglect. And
in a health alert related to the weather, some places you may go to cool down are closed right now. Vancouver Lake shut down for swimming because of high E. coli levels. The county plans to keep that lake closed until tests come back clean.
And the popular D River Beach in Lincoln City that comes right out of Devil's Lake there is closed as well because of fecal bacteria concerns. Health officials say you should stay out of the ocean there and any nearby water. We will let you know when that advisory is lifted.
Developing tonight, a 16-year-old girl has potentially life-threatening injuries after she got hit running across the street in Beaverton. Now, this happened on Southwest Hall Boulevard at Southwest Greenway. Police tell us the teenager tried to cross against a green light. They say the driver is not at fault.
And a KOIN follow-up for you now. We return to a Portland home that was taken over by squatters. They did get an eviction notice from the sheriff's office, though, just today.
But tonight we found out they're still in that house. Only on 6, we confront the people living there about whether they plan to move. This is happening at a home on Southeast Franklin near the Willamette River, and we've been following this issue since last month after a viewer contacted us. Jolie Winaga live at that home tonight. What are those suspected squatters saying to you tonight, Joel?
Well, hi, Jeff and Kelly. I can tell you, first off, they insist they are not squatters, but in fact, legitimate renters, something the property owner says, no way.
They're just nasty people, and they need to go.
As if Terry Brooks isn't going through enough grieving the death of his brother. He says squatters have now taken over his late brother's home.
You lose somebody that you've loved all your life, and then people prey on this situation.
Brooks inherited the house after his brother's death. He tried to sell it, but creditor fees made it not worth it. In the meantime, he says squatters broke in and started living in the foreclosed property.
I've got the paperwork. The eviction notice went Monday. 72 hours was at 9 o'clock this morning. Why are they there?
And that's what I wanted to know as well. So I paid the suspected squatters a visit. One woman who lives here, identifying herself as Julie, did talk to me, but did not want to show her face. Are you a squatter here?
No, we're not squatting here.
Julie tells me she and her roommates had a rental agreement with Brooks' late brother before he passed away.
We pay all the bills. We pay electricity. We pay the gas, we pay water, we pay internet.
Neighbors report suspicious activity all hours of the day and night. I found out the sheriff served them a 72-hour eviction notice on Monday with a court date next week. But Julie tells me everyone in this home is moving out by then.
We have tomato plants over there. You know, who does that if they're squatting?
They're telling me they're not squatters at all.
Okay, so if they're not squatters, show me a deed to the house. Show me a receipt that you're paying me rent to live there. Show me something.
Back live now. Because Brooks could not sell the house, he let it go into foreclosure. He now wants the company who owns that house to take responsibility. We, of course, will keep you up to date. Reporting live here in Southeast Portland, Joel Iwanaga, KOIN 6 News. Kelly and Jeff will send it back to you.
Joel, thank you. And we found out about this story from one of our viewers, so if you have something you'd like us to investigate, email us, report it at KOIN.com, or you can submit it on our website. A KOIN 6 News investigation gets results tonight. Oregon's governor is now promising changes right away after we caught these two Salem daycare providers on camera smoking out of a bong. We have learned that the state allows other Oregon daycare providers as well to smoke marijuana. So the governor tells us tonight there is a loophole and it needs to be closed. He says that he has now directed the Early Learning Council to take the necessary regulatory action. So we will continue to follow this for you, and we will let you know what happens.
We are digging deeper into a local animal neglect case involving more than 40 cats rescued today. The Humane Society is still investigating whether to charge the cat's owner with hoarding. Jessica Morkert talked with him tonight, found out how much it's costing to take care of these animals. Jessica?
Well, Jeff, the owner of those animals tell me that they help him actually cope with depression, but it will ultimately be up to investigators to decide whether he will face hoarding charges, which could mean fees in excess of $20,000.
Oh, hi, honey.
At the Oregon Humane Society, workers examine cat after cat.
She has bilateral ear mites.
Crates full of the pets rolled in for inspection, many of them in need of significant rehabilitation.
Well, we're finding a large population with severe parasites and upper respiratory tract disease.
Shelter experts tell us the cats show the typical signs of hoarding, but so far the owner has not been charged, but could be pending the outcome of the investigation. We found out the animals were seized with a search warrant from a home here off Southeast Hull Avenue in Milwaukee after someone complained.
I've had nothing but a positive interaction with him. He walks the neighborhood a lot, and we stop and chat.
A neighbor who did not want to appear on camera tells me the 66-year-old owner has always had cats, but he never knew there were as many as 41 plus one dog inside. Still others say the cats were everywhere and unhealthy. I checked with the cat's owner, who tells me after his wife and daughter passed away, the cats helped him cope with depression. And while many of the animals were spayed and neutered, some did multiply. The owner tells me he is now working closely with the Humane Society and is willing to meet with support groups. But if charged, he could be facing fees in excess of $20,000 for the cat's care.
I think that's ridiculous, personally. I don't think he's well off. I can't imagine my wife dying. I can't imagine any of that happening. But I still think to get to 42 cats, or in the 40s, even 10, 20, 30, I think there has to be some sort of medical issue.
Now, the Humane Society says that they've been in contact with that owner for several years now and have encouraged him to spay and neuter his pets. The cats that were actually seized, they are here at the Humane Society and will eventually be up for adoption, but right now they are considered evidence. Live in Northeast Portland, Jessica Morkert, KOIN 6 News.
Jessica, thank you. New at 11, 15 people under arrest tonight suspected of playing a role in a string of burglaries in Columbia County. We have been following this case for you with dozens of burglaries in the St. Helens area over the past 2 months. Well, deputies tell us they made those arrests as part of a large crackdown yesterday. They say some of those suspects were already wanted for other crimes.
Marijuana is now legal in Washington, and employers are being forced to take a second look at their substance abuse policies because of that. A man in Spokane, in fact, claims that he is being fired because someone recognized him buying pot on TV, then complained to his boss, who made him take a drug test that he did not pass. But he also claims that he never goes to work impaired. So what are his rights since marijuana use is now legal? Well, Tim Becker took that question to a Vancouver labor attorney who says it's still really a gray area because marijuana can stay in the system for a long time.
If there is going to be a second level of legal skirmish that might go on with regard to this, it's going to be the privacy interest of an employee. And does an employee have the right to do what they want to do on their own time without an employer overreaching into their personal life?
Now, that attorney tells us that employers can reduce their liability with zero tolerance policy that includes for-cause testing. So will the new legal marijuana businesses in Washington state cut down on black market sales of marijuana? What a drug dealer is saying about that coming up.
Has it ever happened to you? We're getting answers about a new local plan to stop panhandlers who simply won't take no for an answer. That's coming up. And how the Enchanted Forest plans to get Humpty Dumpty back on his wall since no one was able to put him back together again.